Hey, good evening, everybody. It is the early evening here in Los Angeles, and the Genesis Open has just concluded, the wonderful golf tournament at the Palisades Riviera Country Club. We were not there because it's damn freezing cold outside and windy and damp. But J.B. Holmes just won, beating Justin Thomas, if you were following us on Lalate moments ago. We're going live tonight and hope to cover all your questions you got on Real Housewives. A lot of great, interesting exclusives that Lalate had this weekend. And we'll try to give you an update. Thank you for all the love we've been getting. Someone even reached out to us and asked for us to convert one of these into a YouTube for them because they wanted to incorporate it. But we're going to cover all your Real Housewives details tonight and give you everything that you want to know and throw us any questions you have at any second. Thanks for joining the room tonight, Diet Blog Chic. And first up is Orange County. Kelly Dodd. Yeah. So I'm assuming you all saw this video that came online. Thanks for joining the room tonight, Pabs. We're doing everything Real Housewives tonight. We're covering Orange County, we're covering Beverly Hills, we're covering Atlanta. We're doing a little flipping out. We're all spent from that golf tournament here in Los Angeles. The Riviera Country Club hosted the Genesis Open, and it just went on and on and on forever. We covered it live on the greens 2 years ago, and thank God we were not there this time because it was just cold and damp and rain and windy. But let's cut to the Housewives because that's what you all want to hear about. So, first up, fines. As in money, as in moolah, not as in you're all fine. Bravo's tired of all the bickering and the mudslinging going on behind the scenes, and they are back with their Orange County fines. You may have heard about these last year, and they instituted them. Several cast members, including Kelly Dodd, said that she used the word fines, but she did tweet she got in trouble. Well, Bravo's back with them, Lalate has exclusively reported today. They're tired of all the mudslinging against Vicki Gunvalson. And if you don't know, Vicki Gunvalson did film, I think it was on Friday, her first scene. She is back next season. So let's clear that up to start. Vicki is back, and she posted to Instagram that she and her boyfriend filmed a scene. That one IG post had 250,000 views. Can you imagine? Anyway, Bravo is sick of all this mudslinging that is going on, and it's doubly sick with the basically revealing storylines. Last season, Kelly Dodd actually tweeted, I wasn't the one that revealed storylines, and, you know, who did and who didn't? Well, we all know 2 seasons back, Vicki Gunvalson's team was accused of leaking the Eddie Judd gay storyline. Last season, Kelly Dodd was accused of leaking other storylines, but this time, the network is sick of it. Lalate has exclusively reported today, and it's going to start finding cast members that trash co-stars through social media in a way that's not becoming the network or the show and reveal storylines. Will Vicki have a slice of orange, Pabs ask, or a full orange? We really don't know. We have heard, we haven't reported it because we're still not sure, we're checking with our sources, that the network has considered a more illustrious term for Vicki to keep her on the show, but it wouldn't be called a friend of Housewives. I mean, you really can't call Vicki ever a friend of a housewife if you want to film with her. That's downright disrespectful. You can't do that with her. But could you give her an illustrious term and write her a smaller check, perhaps? That's possible. But it's videos like this one that Kelly Dodd had with Gina that the network does not want to have going forward. It doesn't want that type of trash talking. And while we're talking about trash talking, have you seen Lisa Rinna's tweets tonight? She called Twitter a bunch of sickos, trolls. She said everyone is trolling her and certain cast members on Twitter. Well, you know, Lisa, you're the one that cut out pictures of Vanderpump. You're the one that's been trolling Vanderpump for months. And now you're upset that people are taking aim at you? It's sort of Kelly Doddish all over again. Now, what's going to happen later in the season? Well, another story that turned a couple eyes that LA reported exclusively over the weekend was that there are receipts. Lots of receipts. And, yeah, Retta said Instagram is cooler. Yeah, maybe it's cooler because you can avoid people's comments, Retta. Maybe it's cooler because you can just sort of ignore when people actually read you. You know, maybe it's cooler because you can just sort of post half-naked pictures and avoid the discussion that you sort of started. Although I think Instagram is not cooler when you're posting co-stars' pictures that you cut out of a press photo, when you cut out Vanderpump from a photo. I mean, did Harry Hamlin do that, Rena? Did Harry Hamlin cut out Jimmy Smits from LA Law in press photos? I mean, that's just not cooler. Cooler, Rena. It's not cooler. Now, the difference with Rena and Dodd is that Rena is trying to be humorous, although she is not. Dodd is just completely rude. I mean, Dodd called Miss Dubrow, Heather Dubrow, Skeletor, called Gunvalson's facelift a mistake, a bot surgery. I mean, that's rude. That's not funny, Kelly. But let's go back to Beverly Hills. So, LA exclusively reported over this weekend that there are tons of receipts in Lucygate, or Juicegate, however you call it. Lucy Juice, I never can remember the name of that dog. Lucy Juice, Dorit's former dog, that there are tons of receipts that are being held for the reunion that are coming out after principal photography was concluded. Someone tweeted us and said, I don't believe you. Everything was supposed to come out in the first episode. Actually, no. Erica did press the other day and said there's a lot that's going to come out. Puppygate. Puppygate's easier. I like Juicegate. Juicegate or Lucygate. And there's going to be a lot that's going to come out. Those receipts are being held for the reunion, and it's going to be shocking. How shocking is it? We have heard exclusively from a source. It is Brooks Ayers-ish shocking. That it's going to take the show that's running a storyline through the principal photography into another direction after photography ended. As you remember with Brooks Ayers, he had all this City of Hope scandalous junk that came out after photography ended. Said he had receipts from City of Hope. He didn't. Then he had to retract it. Then Vicky came out. And it was just a mess. We've heard, get ready for that. Get ready for that with Beverly Hills. You're going to see receipts like you have never seen for Puppygate, as Paps would call it. Juicygate, as LA would call it. Or Lucygate. And there you go. That's Beverly Hills. A lot of people were asking us about our IG video live chat a few days ago about the Pump property. And we'll just retouch on that again. That Vanderpump doesn't own the Pump property. And so this insane story by Nene that Vanderpump bought it out from underneath her, she didn't buy anything. She took a lease on a property that was available for rent for a god sum of money, $20,000 or $25,000 a month, that anyone could have rented. Nene could have rented. And she opened Pump. And so for Nene to say that Vanderpump bought it out from underneath her, I mean, Nene, The space was featured on $1 Million Listing L.A. many a season ago for rent. Did you not watch that episode? Did Vanderpump take it out from underneath you that way? I mean, just Nene. It's just not true. Pab says, I mean, season 10 feels like it would be impacted greatly relationship-wise. Yeah, you know, you gotta feel sorry for these people like Vanderpump that bring or help facilitate the introduction of people like Dorit to the show who eventually just, you know, go knives deep in. Remember when Gretchen brought Alexis Bellino on to Orange County? And Alexis went after her. Remember when Megan King-Emmons brought Kelly Dodd on and Kelly Dodd went after her? Remember when someone on Dallas Housewives brought someone else on and that person went after her? You gotta feel sorry for these people who recommend a friend or help a friend get on these shows and then that friend turns on you. Don't do it. Word of advice, don't get your friends on these shows. Yeah, Pab says Nene needs to stop sniffing some wig glue. She does. I mean, it's like, Nene, come on, you did not. That Java Detour property that became Pump, it was available for rent for $20,000, $25,000 a month. And Vanderpump did not steal anything from y'all. I mean, that is just so, it is just so inventive. It's not even interesting. If you're going to invent something, make it interesting at least. Flipping out. How about flipping out? I mean, that is a hot mess right there. I gotta say, all of y'all folks that are always quoting what Jeff Lewis says about Housewives, do me a favor. Stop quoting him. Y'all know he is biased. Y'all know he is anti-Vicky. Y'all know there's always a slant to his stories. He was anti-Heather Dubrow. And as soon as he says something, you all repeat it like it's gold. I mean, come on already. It's, you know, he's not media takeout, but, you know, don't repeat his stuff. But yeah, he and Gage broke up, and you're all shocked by that. It was not exclusive with Lalate, but we just reported on it. And Gage's dating or significant other or new interest is not pleasing Jeff. So in a short period of time, there's no Zoila, no Jenny, no Gage, and, maybe no show. So much for that. Jeff Lewis is, yeah. You said it, Pabs. Atlanta. How about Atlanta? Let's dish a little bit about Atlanta. LA's going to report in a couple days that you're going to see a familiar face into the mix coming back next season. Mm-hmm. Yes, there's a familiar face that's coming back, and you shouldn't twirl on it because it's not Miss America. Yeah. And let's see. Any questions y'all got? Any questions you got about all this messiness going on? Oh, did you see the Shannon Bedore court filing? I sort of like that. You know why I liked it? And I saw a tweet or a post by someone that encapsulated my opinion of the situation. The person said, I'm so glad that y'all can put a chair and sit them all down, all these people that keep on inflating their salaries. Remember how we always hear about these housewives claiming to have $800,000 salaries and $900,000 salaries and $700,000 salaries. So how much is Shannon Bedore making this current season, which I think is her 5th or 6th season? She's reportedly in the $400,000 range, up from the $300,000 range. Shows you, not as much as y'all been saying. LA's been telling you that for years, that these people get hired the first season out one something, 120, 150, 175. Then they jump in the 2 range the next season. Then after a while, they'll get into the 3s And then after 4 or 5 seasons, you'll get into the 4s. They're not at $700,000, $800,000 after 4 seasons. It's just a joke. It's like, come off of it. We all know there's that one website owned by the National Enquirer that loves to tell you that NeNe Leakes is being paid $25 million a season. And y'all repost it because y'all love money. I mean, you just love I mean, we all love money, but you love when the number's huge. And that's the angle of their stories. NeNe's going to be paid $20,000 a second. And, you know, is Flipping Out officially been canceled? Jeff thinks it has. What is the reality of the situation? Jeff thinks the show is canceled because there is no show without Jenny. And I think he really is right. I mean, who wants to watch a show with just Jeff Lewis? That's not a show. He's not endearing. He lacks an endearing quality about himself to carry a show by himself unless he has a person to bounce off of. And with Jenny out of the picture, ostensibly, there is no show. He says he's been canceled. How much do the Peaches make? That's a good question. So, a cast member on Atlanta told us back at season 6, when there were reports that NeNe was making 1.5. We asked the cast member, is that true? And she said, no. But the cast member said she's making somewhere between 1 and 1.2 or 1.3 at the time. I have to look at my notes. But the cast member said everyone knows what everyone else makes. A lot of people use the same lawyer to negotiate these contracts, at least in Atlanta at the time. But these claims that people... Oh, this cast member who was then in her, 3rd season or 4th season... There were reports she was going to be making $800,000. She wasn't making $800,000. She admitted to Ella that she wasn't making $800,000. She didn't say how much, but it was somewhere probably in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. So if you start now, Atlanta has a higher benchmark. You start hot, you get higher very quickly. But these other shows like Beverly Hills, New York, I won't start. You got New York and you got Beverly Hills and New Jersey. You got all those. Then you got the newer Housewives shows where you paid substantially lower. But on Beverly Hills, I mean, you start in the 1s unless you're a very big star coming in, like the newbie this season. But you start around the 1s, you jump to the 2s, you hustle for a 3, and then you settle in at maybe $60,000 to $90,000 to $110,000 raises per season, slowly thereafter. So you'll be 4 in maybe a 5th year, $400,000, maybe $460,000 in the 5th season, $510,000 in the 6th season. You are not at $800,000 in your 5th season. They're not just rolling over and writing you a big ass check like that. Mill. What do you mean mill, Pabs? What does that mean, mill? M-I-L-L. Mill. No, 1,000. 100. No, 400,000. But yeah, NeNe was being paid $1 million to $1.2 million this season. Is she being paid $2 million now? Hell no. I mean, there's no way in hell NeNe's being paid $2 million a season now. It's just not true. I mean, it's just like silliness. Is Lake Bailey being paid $2 million? No. Is Lake Bailey being paid, $300,000? No. She's being paid a lot more than that. But, NeNe's salary is probably in the mid-1s. Candy's is probably in the low 1s. Cynthia's is probably in the... God, how many seasons has she been on? She's probably in about the 6 range. 600,000 approximately. Portia might be a little bit less. And then all these newbies, they're probably at about 150, 180, 190. They ain't getting a check for $300,000 their first season. No way, no how. They'd love to tell you they are, but they aren't. So, Shannon Medora getting about 400-something thousand in her now 5th season, which is about right. And there you go. So, thanks for joining us this evening. If you ain't got any other questions, we're going to kick it off here. And find you back on Twitter and see what Miss Renna is hustling about now. You know. Let me just say one thing about Miss Renna. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what fans recall and what they don't recall. A lot of people have a selective memory or the forgetful memory. But with Renna, this woman tried for years to get on the show. Let's be clear here. She hustled for many seasons to get on to Beverly Hills Housewives. She was reported to join the show on Lalate and several other sites several times and seasons before she even joined the show. She wanted that job. She wanted this job badly. She had another reality show with Harry Hamlin that flopped. I remember seeing Amnesia, exactly, Pabs. I mean, she had another reality show with Harry Hamlin that flopped mercifully. I think it was on TV Land or something. I remember seeing the billboard for it at the intersection on Fountain where that one actor flipped his car and crushed his hand in that infamous scandal several years back. But, you know, Renna wanted Beverly Hills Housewives so badly, and now she's a little bit, you know, she's pushing the envelope a little bit far. So you could do a little bit, but don't go so far. And it's interesting to hear her tweets and Instagram posts tonight where she's just livid with fans that are just sick of the gang up mentality that's going on. So get ready, Renna.